For today's episode, we have Trench. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Second episode. Firstly, if you could all introduce yourselves.
I am Ronan. I play guitar and sing a bit. Sometimes. I've got a bit
of drums from my experience as well.
Yeah, a bit of drums, yeah. I get a bit bored, so it's what.
Have to jump around.
Whatever I fancy doing at the time,
I'm Stan and I play guitar and sing.
Mike, I play bass and do a little bit of backup vocals.
I'm Sam and I do drums and backup vocals as well.
So everyone's a singer. That's nice.
Well,
yeah.
I think
a vocalist of some description. Okay, so how long have you been gigging together so far?
Well, we had the first time we ever gigged as Trench. It was actually just me and Mike playing folk. So that was
it's a bit of a change.
Yeah. So that was under Trench, but then we had a different drummer who was in Maidstone, quite a long way away, and then that kind of fell through. And then we got Sam. When did you move down, Sam?
I moved here last summer, but I don't think we started playing live until maybe. Was it Halloween? I think Halloween was our first.
It was October, yeah.
So it hasn't really been going like as a whole that long though.
So this set up maybe like 5 months or so.
Yeah. There was a gig we played August Bank Holiday. I think Sam, you came to watch as August Bank, and then I think after that we would have started practicing together. So the first show would have been Halloween.
Yep.
Where was the Halloween one?
Richmond.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
That's quite cool actually. We can remember that as like Halloween as well.
Yeah, that's the first show, yeah.
It's our birth.
Probably about a month and a half into jamming.
By Satan.
I remember I had that mask on and I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
I didn't wear makeup, so I went dressed up and so I thought, I'll get one of those fake lights.
I've heard lots of considerations about that, about spraying masks and stuff.
Yeah.
You end up realising they just go no.
Yeah. Well, I remember I took it off at the end and I was just like red. It was just so hot.
I think mine lasted about 2 songs. Just sliding around on my face so much.
I think I was the only one in makeup. Yeah. I was the only one who was actually dressed up,
Was someone wearing a gas mask? Were you wearing a gas mask?
No, we talked about it.
It was too hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Mike was
Silent Bob.
Yeah,
from very easy costume.
Yeah. Just wearing a hat.
Yeah, pretty nice.
It's the easy costume.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's people who decide to spray paint their masks right before their set.
Oh.
They still played it, but by the end, paint fumes.
Yeah.
It's very dangerous.
I mean, that might have happened to Ronan. That kind of looks like it happens. It looks like something goes to your head. Anyway,
it's perfect. So it's always a pain in the ass when it gets around to a song where I'm singing because I'm so out of breath I can't even sing properly. Having to gasp or have a whiskey before, something to clear the airways. It's always but it's part of the show.
Proven
That's good about live music.
Yeah.
You just don't know what's going to happen, really.
Everything's a surprise.
Well, there's one constant. Ronan will always try and destroy his guitar. That will always happen.
It's still going.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for the
broken.
It's not. How is it not broken?
Don't know. Oh, you saw us, didn't you?
Yeah, so you jump on things.
I don't know. Well,
that is broken. Definitely.
When we played with Bee's Mouth last time, concrete floor. So I definitely I got that one wrong because afterwards it's all cracked in the back now, and I've lost a bit of my trim as well.
Ooh,
that's funny saying that. I lost a bit of my trim. But the trim on the guitar, whatever you call it, going down the neck, the fretboard, a bit that's missing now, so that was lost. Got to be careful next time.
That's such a good view of that. Just right down on it.
I can see you jumping up and down in front of it. You weren't holding your guitar, so I was like, where is it? And I looked over and was like, oh yeah, it's on the floor. That's fine.
It's quite funny because the lead fell out as well, so it wasn't making any noise. I realised halfway through the lead was out, so I had to plug it back in just so you
keep smacking it around.
Yeah, otherwise it just looks like some awful idiot hitting the guitar.
Plus we'd swap places, so you were over my pedals just banging the shit out of it, and I was like, I gotta step over you and play.
It was quite funny when we, I think it was the gig that you were at the Prince Albert when my guitar, like 2 of the strings broke, and I had to borrow Sam from Black Spring's guitar.
Oh yeah.
And we were sort of right at the end of the last song, Basilisk, like goes all sort of crazy at the end, and Ronan always starts like smashing his guitar up. And obviously I had like Sam's like was it his
Very
Telecaster,
nice,
like
yeah.
really nice Telecaster,
Yeah.
and I could just see him in the front of the crowd just looking at me, just like shaking his head because he thought I was going to start like about. I was like, no, don't worry about it. It's cool.
What I don't get is how, without fail, every gig you'll break one of my drumsticks, but your guitar will survive.
Yeah. Broke sticks at practice the other day as well. Fuck, I can't hold them. Might have to cut that one out if you're not allowed swearing.
Are we not?
No, that's fine.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's not me then, is it?
It's a lot easier. Sorry, I shouldn't
Yeah,
have
it's been on CBBC.
Yeah, we're live, not watched it yet. Yeah. So no, yeah, October. Well,
Yeah.
basically November.
So
So
not really a massive amount of time, but things are going really well by the sounds of it. I mean, I've seen the EP advertising.
Yeah,
That's not-
it's been quite a long process, but it's getting there. It's getting
well,
there.
we went and recorded in November. So we'd only played that one show. Yeah, we'd only done
Sounds
one
right.
show, hadn't we? Yeah. One show and then went to record because we'd had the material for quite a while. And as Stan said, we played with another guy at Maidstone, and that didn't work out. And we were the year before that, so November, back end of 2016, Mike started playing with us, and we were 4-piece then, but we were travelling to Maidstone every week, once a week, to try and play and record. So that just wasn't feasible for us to do, and we had a couple of run-ins because Stan had his car here as well, and we had a couple of times where every single wheel on the car popped at some point. And one time coming back at 12:30 at night, we got stuck outside Crowborough because the wheel had gone. We lost a tyre, so we had to have a friend drive from Lewis to pick us up. So yeah, we were just driving too much, and me and Stan were going over there once a week, and it just didn't work out. But we've been playing since middle of 2015.
Just me, yeah, me and
Just me and
Jansen.
Me and Stan, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because we recorded, we kind of started kind of getting the songs all together and kind of gigging a tiny bit, and then we went into record, and then there was like this massive gap where sort of over Christmas and sort of November where we didn't really do a lot, and then it's really since, because I think it all kind of affected us a bit mentally, that we were kind of like, oh, it feels like it's all really slowed down, and before Christmas we had that big chat about kind of what we want to be doing and we need to kind of be gigging more, and then we came back in January because everyone went home for Christmas, like two families and stuff, and we came back in January, and then since January we've had loads of gigs.
Yeah, it's sort of been like constant flow of gigs, at least usually once a month on average, and usually they're closer together normally, aren't they? We'll have like a week where we'll do like 2 or 3 or something.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always something on, but there seems to be like a band play a few gigs in a row, and then
Yeah, they're a bit sporadic at the moment. It's partly to do with different work patterns
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, of
it's
course.
like trying to juggle different jobs and
yeah, it's the tough one.
yeah.
It's a while before people realise they, when it's just selling a first album or second, that they realise they can stop their normal job. I think it was the front of the Offspring who was like 3rd album in before he realised he could stop working formally.
That would be nice.
Okay, so yeah, the EP's coming up, loads of gigs happening, so lots to check out. Now, as the music itself, what would you say inspires you, individually or as a band, however you want to do it, or both?
Do it individually?
Could do individually, yeah. Couple of things for myself, because I used to play back home. I started playing with a friend back home. We played for years, kind of. He was a bit of a blues musician, but he wouldn't say that he played the blues, so we just had a 2-piece going on, and I used to play drums. So that was kind of my start. That was the kind of getting in early. So from about 16 to 19, we didn't play blues because I'm not that technical and I'm not that good a musician to play. But he was a very bluesy guitarist. It was kind of just on the feel, kind of black keys, white stripes kind of stuff. So we played that for years, and so a lot of that influences those 2 pieces are in a lot of what I do. And we used to hang out, and we were both Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds fans, and like the Cribs and a couple of other bands locally as well. So that kind of fused, and Placebo as well. So that is a big influence on me, especially for the guitars. And then obviously from Placebo is Sonic Youth. So I think for me, I don't really play guitar. I never really have wanted to play guitar because I've never learned how to play. So I just try and figure out wherever I can, and there's I feel like I have a different approach to it because I don't know scales or anything like that. So
you just
it's very much just kind of however it's going with the rest of the band. You know, it's just getting up there and doing it. You know, because I'm not technical in any way. So it's just getting up there and playing with the guys and working out, and there's kind of come into some kind of structure.
Fun way of doing it.
Yeah, so there's a big influence for me, especially Bad Seeds, Placebo, and the Cribs. I'd say my three for me, and that, our sound. I probably bring a bit of that side to it. There's a bit of performance side to it as well. So I'd say, the way I describe it is kind of post-rocky, alt-rock, alternative rock. It's the way I describe it with genres, but I'd say we all have different kind of taste musically, so we all kind of bring something different to
bring
it.
something different, like an element from your favourites. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I think with it's definitely like everyone brings their own thing. Like Ronnie was saying, you've got a bit more of the sort of avant-garde kind of sort of Nick Cave and what's the Einstein Neubauten, where there's like a German industrial band that just do loads of weird percussion and
that's kind of stuff
hitting metal and
well.
stuff like that, and that definitely comes across with Ronan kind of bringing the sort of having the extra toms and the drums on stage. So he kind of brings that. I think for me, like it's definitely I've got like a real soft spot for like early noughties, like punk, like things like so at the drive-in are probably one of my biggest kind of influences. Also sort of early Biffy Clyro, In Me, so that slightly kind of more sort of 2000s metal-y kind of sound, but it's just kind of that's what I grew up with, because I've got an older brother, and we used to share a room, and so when I was younger, I'd just literally every morning just have like Biffy or like 100 Reasons or all these kind of 2000 bands just blasted at me. So, and it was weird because I didn't actually listen to that sort of music when I was sort of 14, 15, 16, and then it was when I got a bit older that I sort of started coming back to kind of rock and
kind of appreciate
stuff like that. So I'd say if I was top 3 influences would be probably At the Drive-In, Biffy, and I'm going to say System of a Down, just because, I fucking like System of a Down.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
My music taste kind of fits a lot in line with Stan, and I think when we're writing for Trench, I think of those kind of bands and like have an idea of what it should sound like. I play in another band, but it's generally in a more I just play the bass in that band, and this band's a bit more something we've kind of grown together, and I sort of think of it in sort of 2 halves. So like there's the writing and sort of finding new ways to put that out, and then really sort of enjoying playing live, just really sort of, I guess, not making a statement, but just sort of just trying to have a good time and just put a lot of energy into it.
So it's something where you have more creative input, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you enjoy it more and can go with it more. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
Well, one of our first songs, our first song that me, Mike, and Stan did was Signal, which is going to be on the EP as well. That was done in my living room last February. So that was the first song that we kind of did as Trench, really, didn't we? Because me and Stan had done things and we'd taken them to Maidstone, but the first one that me, Mike, and Stan did all together was Signal, and that'll be the one that features on the EP. So it'll be really nice for us to get that out, and we haven't done a lot as a 4-piece recently because a lot of the stuff was before Sam joined.
Yeah.
So we went into the studio with a lot of songs pre-Sam. So now it's really good being in the situation we are, where we've had a good lineup, we've had a solid lineup, and we're going forward and writing things as a 4-piece, because it was quite exciting when we started doing Signal. I remember when we were first doing it in an entire afternoon. It was very exciting, and we're all still sussing each other out, how we kind of jam and work with each other. But I think going forward as a 4-piece, that's quite exciting now.
It's kind of the thing about the EP, obviously. The songs are on it, those songs, they've kind of stood the test of time, in the sense that we recorded 8 tracks, which in hindsight was probably a bit too ambitious to go and do in like 3 days that we booked off work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's only going to be 4 on it, and kind of quite a lot of them we don't actually play. The four that are on it, we still play live. Have kind of stood the test of time. But kind of, as I say, they were ones that we've written before we are this setup now.
Yeah.
So in a way, although kind of they've all got a really special place in the set and kind of a special place in all our hearts because they're kind of the original songs, where we're writing as a four-piece now, it's kind of a different dynamic, and so we're obviously excited to put this out, but then excited to be moving forward and putting out kind of basically the newer songs that are on the set list, almost a kind of different era. Not to say that they're kind of better or the worse, but it's just kind of it's
just a natural development.
Yeah,
you've got four heads now, and everyone's bringing different things.
So
are you considering the older tracks as like a B-side or something?
I think if we ever got to doing like an actual album, which obviously we will, because I think we're kind of thinking of maybe over the summer, maybe August or something, going back in and recording another EP. And then we've obviously got other ones that aren't even going to be on this one. And then I think, once we've got kind of a big pool of tracks to choose from, I think there will definitely be at least one or two from this EP that would, Signal's one that's just, it kind of was so organic and it kind of came about with all of us, and so that it, we'll be on it. But
yeah. Okay. Lastly.
Oh yeah, influences. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Well,
kind of tangent then. Sorry.
I think I'm probably more like you, Ronan. I think I kind of I'm quite into sort of avant-garde, experimental, slightly weird left field stuff. I really like anything by like Talking Heads, that kind of stuff. And rhythmically, I think that sort of funky double rhythms we've got going at the minute, I think going forward with the Trench songs changes the feel of them a lot, but makes them really punchy. So yeah,
Anything experimental.
Anything experimental, yeah. Cool. Brian Eno, he's my hero.
So I know that's like professionally weird man.
That needs to be a business card. Professional weird man.
Professional weird man.
What do you do? I'm professionally strange.
I met him once and he lost my shit.
You turned into a weird man, yeah.
Weird man.
Yeah, so we already spoke about one aspiration, which is album, of course. Where could you see yourself, say, in 10 years with the band?
I was just
Wembley Stadium, maybe?
I was expecting to say within a year.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 years. 10 years.
I like your thinking.
Okay, but even if it's 10 months, I'm still standing firm on Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Is there anything particularly you would like to do? Not necessarily within the 10 years, but like soonish, or
Should we go around the same way? Yeah.
I was going to say tour.
I'd like to do a little tour,
I mean, if we're saying in 10 years, obviously we'd want to do loads by then.
We'll have our own private planes by then.
Yeah.
Touring's not going to be an issue.
Well, no, she's fondue.
That can be separate from the band.
Is that much?
Big beard. Great big bushy beard.
I just want to be loaded to getting drunk all the time on a beach. No, I don't really, but just kind of throwing that out there. I think, it's difficult to really say. Just in the moment right now, saying 10 years, but
are there any like particular goals, like stadium or big festival headline, anything like that?
I was going to say play a festival would be nice, because I haven't done that before.
I think it's sorry. No, I was going to say it's kind of like all encompassing, but like my main goal would be basically for the music to be enough that it was all I was doing, and that I didn't have to work a shitty call centre job or anything like that to support it. That would be my kind of aspiration, to be my job, and like. Yeah.
I think one of a really good way is that she'd just like to be able to earn enough to not live off pot noodle.
Yeah. I just like to if the music was enough to just play all the time, we could just tour and gig, and we made it's not that it's about money at all, but just making enough that I wouldn't have it is work, but that would be my kind of dream.
I think I think bands probably have to, I was having a conversation with Jay, one of the guys I was making a video with earlier today. We were talking about that, and he was telling me about a band he was in 10 years ago. And I won't go into the details of that, but obviously just at the end of the noughties when the recession hit, his band was operating in that time. He said it must be a difficult time, plus because of downloads as well. And we were saying how much the music has changed. And I think bands have to be smarter nowadays than they would have been before, possibly because there's not going to be enough money given to them by labels and that kind of stuff. It's just my reading and observation, what I've spoken to people about. But I think with us, we know we're a working band, and I think we know what we have to do in the short term. You know, we have set up for the month. We know what those goals we have to achieve in the short term. We know what we're going to be setting out. There's going to be a lot of difficult obstacles along the way. But I think we are working. We understand if you're putting in the work and it's output. You know, we work on those songs. We'll get those songs out. We're going back in the studio. We're playing a gig next week. We're playing a gig after that. Just that output, I think that's what will sustain it. You know, and it'll get us to a point. But we understand the work that has to be done for it. You know, and I think that's an important thing. And you do have to be. I mean, the way I see it now is bands do have to be smarter about the way that they budget themselves, and they have to have a business mentality, because it's not going to be. You know, I probably borrow a bit of that from what's his name, John Dwyer from the OCs. You know, every time they're off tour, they just go and make an album and then go on tour again. And he's releasing everything through his own.
There's been some amazing musicians in the last 5 years. I know Owl City did an album a month for a while, which is on his own. It's quite an impressive thing. But yeah, I'd say they do definitely have to become smarter in terms of expertise regarding to marketing. That's especially online.
Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, there's so much. Everyone can put music out, so in a way, it's a lot easier than it was. But then. That means it's just so saturated because it's so much harder than to get.
One thing I was going to say, picking up on that, is I think what's so good about Brighton is it's got such a good music scene. I feel like there's a real sense of community with the bands. Yeah. Like everyone knows each other and goes to each other's gigs and supports them. It's really cool. Because I lived in London and I played in bands in London, and there was loads of really cool musicians and artists and stuff. But there was no sense of team spirit. Everyone was off doing their own thing.
Really, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's slightly different in South London, like Brixton and stuff. But it was because it's such a big place and it's such a hub of activity. You've got loads of good things happening, but you haven't quite got that team spirit as much as you do here. And I think Brighton being condensed as a smaller place, but
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what my experience of it so far. I've really enjoyed. It's a really cool scene with lots of bands.
Yeah, there's loads. I mean, there's loads have recently come to the surface as well. There's been a few tours that I've heard of, friends' bands and that. It really is kind of a hub for musical stuff.
Definitely.
Okay, now guilty pleasures, musically or otherwise.
Which is why
would you consider them guilty pleasures?
Yeah.
I would say
it's a very good fucking point.
Do you feel guilty about it at all?
I do. I don't feel guilty listening to this song and walk on a dark.
What song is it?
This could be almost. This could be almost.
Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler.
Oh, that's a fucking banging tune.
You listen to the melody in that, and it sends shivers down my spine. You know.
I would say it's brilliant.
Video's a bit. It's one of those 80s videos, isn't it? You know, and bit of a weird moment at the end though, because she's looking at that guy and his eyes light up, almost like Predator does, you know, in the jungle. So
I love how you've studied it's not just like what it sounds like.
Some Predator sound.
Just expecting the noise.
Just
to come after that, you know. But she says turn around bright eyes, don't she? So his eyes flash and she has this look on her face.
There's a band called Horror Torpedo, who are German or Norwegian, I can't remember, but they do the most incredible cover of Total Eclipse, and I'd recommend to everyone who does listen to this to check it out. That's Horror Torpedo. They also do Careless Whisper excellently as well.
I forgot to mention the instruments they play.
Oh yeah. So it's not so they play fridges and washing machines. There's one guy on guitar singing sort of really out of tune, and the rest of them are just smashing kitchen implements, and it's just fucking amazing.
Well, funny thing actually, adding on Stan talking about that band, the Torpedo band, is I hadn't noticed before, but the chord changes that he does during that song for Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart, it's amazing different changes in it. I didn't really notice from listening to her version until I saw him on the guitar making the changes. It's so brilliant. The melodies, especially when she's I really need you tonight, in that last chorus, her voice sounds like it's gonna, the vocal cord is just gonna rip. She's going, I really need you tonight. Oh fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I don't care, I'll say that's a guilty pleasure of mine, always has been. So
I would consider that a guilty pleasure. All the horror torpedo thing, that sounds quite interesting. Sounds like Stomp on acid.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know if mine's guilty or not, but The Boys of Summer by Don Henley is just the best.
I didn't even know that.
I don't know.
Oh,
I know Don Henley.
You'll know it if you hear it. He was in the Eagles. Was he in? I think he might be in the Eagles. It's such a good. You'll know it if you hear it. It's such a good song.
What's the chance on that, yeah?
It's kind of, you sit there and you really listen to it on your own. It's like, no, that's relevant.
Yeah, whenever I'm drunk, I was walking home drunk. I was walking home drunk the other day. It was that night I was stumbling around in the bathroom running, and I was singing it out loud on the levels and didn't even realise. So I had my headphones on, and I pulled them off at one point and I realised I was actually singing along to the song.
Do you reckon we could get the rights to it and cut it in between this interview as well?
Yeah, well,
That's something. Because I'd like to listen to it as well.
I'm really struggling to think it because every time, so I'm very much, I love 80s music, but every time I think of an 80s song that I want to say is a guilty pleasure, I just realise that I'm not guilty, that I like it.
Here's a question: did you enjoy getting rickrolled?
Yeah, actually, I watched yesterday at work Rick Astley playing with Foo Fighters and doing that. Have you seen that? They dragged Rick Astley on stage.
That sounds so
and they played
surreal.
like a Foo Fighters cover of Never Gonna Give You Up, but it's like the same riff from Smells Like Teen Spirit, and it actually works really well. Like if they just overlay it and it works really well. I'm gonna say, I don't know, I'm just trying to think real guilty pleasure. I was gonna say Pet Shop Boys, but West End Girls, but again that's nothing to be kind of that guilty of. It's a really good song.
Okay, what about non-musically?
Non-musically.
Is anyone an EastEnders fan? That's what I'm asking.
No.
I had a musical guilty pleasure. So They Might Be Giants, the band, in general, because they just have so much varying things, and like Birdhouse in Your Soul is such a great song. But then they have all these like educational songs for kids, and like there's one which teaches you what the sun's made of, and it's just, I think it's like a ball of incandescent gas, and like it like goes into like how many hydrogen atoms are in it, and like all musical, just unabashed, beautiful pop music.
Birdhouse in Your Soul, songs for kids, and was it the Malcolm in the Middle theme?
Yes, yeah, that's it. They do that as well. Like they have such a wide range of things going on.
They do the Malcolm in the Middle thing?
Yeah.
That's a great
It's a really good song. And then like the full version has like a ska kind of verse, and like the bit in it's actually the chorus. So yeah,
It's kind of a partial guilty pleasure.
yeah, like the big songs that people would know. I'm not like, they have one called Cyclops Rock, and it's just like, you know, Cyclops who likes rock music. It's just like stupid stuff.
I've been in the car with Mike when he puts the CD on and he just starts sweating. You know, when he's listening to him, you know.
Yeah.
Just loving he's at the wheel. Next level perspiration, you know.
I'm not aware of this.
Rubbing his knees. I want to learn about the fucking
The weather's changing.
Those fake cheese slices, sorry, it's just popped into my head, and I think contemporary guilty pleasure. It's not payday till tomorrow, so I've been living off of those like fake cheeseburger slices from Aldi. Just them on their own. I did have some pickles, and I was at one point wrapping just a pickle up with fake cheese and eating that. And that's probably something to be ashamed of. So I'm going to call that a guilty pleasure. That's non-musical.
Well, we could stick at the food thing, because one of mine is mussels in vinegar.
Oh,
Yeah,
Are you drinking?
that's what I drink it afterwards. Yeah, that's one of mine. So just carrying on the food thing. Yeah, that's definitely a
Not
pleasure
heard
of
that
mine.
one before.
I know, I used to feel horrible walking on to my grandma's on a Tuesday after having done that. You know.
Pickled onions. I can eat a jar of pickled onions.
Oh, no, good.
Yeah,
They're quite nice though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
I mean, all things pickled.
Yeah.
Even eggs.
Never actually
Pickled
tried
eggs are really good.
Pickled egg and a packet of crisps. Oh,
I've never had.
They always look so weird in the jar.
They
like,
do look
puts me
weird.
off.
Mm.
Don't know why.
I agree. They do look quite odd. But shouldn't be deceived by their appearance because they are in actual fact really tasty.
For
Have you got a
breakfast,
guilty
I wanted to
pleasure song-wise?
go.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you anything. That's not how it works.
It's not a polite interview.
There's one I'm always made fun of for, which is, but it's not guilty because I like them. Is My Chemical Romance.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
One of
Three
the
Cheers for
bands
Sweet
I like.
Revenge is a good album.
I like all of them.
I wasn't that keen. Well, actually, I wasn't that keen. I just didn't really know anything.
I saw them live. I saw Black Parade
Same.
in Newcastle in like
They,
2000.
The tour they did for it, I saw the warm-up gig in Bournemouth.
Oh
I
really?
got a ticket like last minute.
Oh nice.
Are they still playing?
No, they broke up. There's a few solo projects around.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of from the whole emo pop punk days
Mm.
of my life where I get a bit of shit for it.
Those days.
We were all there.
It was
We're not
fun
there.
and I had a great time.
I remember Karan.
Where are
Karan,
you?
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
A yellow card on the car in the car the other day, just blasting it like
Which one?
yellow card. Ocean Avenue. So yeah.
I haven't listened to that in ages.
No one leaves that phase. I think everyone just pretends they have and then actually still listens to
Yeah,
it.
in their head they're just like, yeah, I love this song.
Yeah.
Outside they have to be mean about it. And like, nah, they're shit. I hate them now. Yeah.
Basically.
Okay, so we've had a bit of description about your genre anyway, but how would you each individually describe what you make? You can do it genre-wise, or you can do it just random words if you want.
Heavy, weird.
There's something about slabs of riffs on.
Yeah, that was just. It's weird. Whenever like, you're trying to categorize, like it's the most horrible thing when
Yeah,
someone says,
it's
"Oh, what
difficult,
does it? What sort of music is it?" Because
But that's why I don't ask for actual genres.
Yeah,
You can say
because we've all
like,
got different influences that different things come out. So it's got elements of metal, I'd say, elements of grunge, definitely, elements of punk, and then elements of fucking everything, really.
Munch.
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 Munch. I like that.
Yeah, Munch.
Munch. Heavy munch.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Try some heavy munch. This one I made earlier. Yeah. What would
Fucked
you
up with
describe?
heroes I don't
What would
see.
you- Yeah.
I think yeah. When we've done things before, I think being honest with what we've been writing about, or we're going with like a fixed idea. We're being quite open to seeing how it changes and input from each other, and I think just honest in how we play, and especially that we try and carry that over to the live performance as well. Play that honestly and have it explosive and a bit spontaneous. Well, not a bit spontaneous because every show is going to be different. Every show is different. So I think it has that. Definitely has that honesty, and well, you know, obviously we go crazy at the end or whatever, in the final track that we've been playing live, Basilisk. But it's not well thought out, as in like premeditated, but obviously it's honest on the stage and it's explosive, and
Spontaneous.
and I think obviously that's what we try and have. You know, you can have the recorded song, but people, that's how you obviously. It's like playing live.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say raw as a word. Because when we play, it really is like everyone gives it their all, I think, and we just love playing as well. And I think, but it comes down to that word you used before, honesty. I think it's a really good word. I think it's quite honest music. It's just what it, you know.
What
As it is.
I've kind of been saying recently is like I think live music is sort of 50-50 in that it's 50% what it sounds like and 50% what it looks like, because if you're hearing a record and you're playing a record, it's 100% what it sounds like, because that's the only kind of sense you're hearing it through, so it's got to sound kind of spot on. And I think what we love about playing live is that where perhaps it is rough around the edges and raw and kind of, you know, we're not sort of the best, you know, I'm not the best singer and stuff like that, that doesn't matter at all, because we make sure that we try and put on a show as well and a
You can still draw
spectacle.
people in.
Yeah, and I think like when you go to a gig and the music can be, you know, so tight, and it can be, you know, a group of the most amazing musicians ever that don't hit a note, but like everyone's kind of stood there just playing it.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not as engaging, and you kind of it
Definitely isn't.
You kind of lose interest a bit. Whereas if you're there and it doesn't sound great, even if it sounds. I think there was a band we went to see Sticky Mike's called Girls and Synthesis.
Oh,
And like the sound, like you know, everything was too loud, really, in the sense that it was just a wall of fucking noise. But the two, they had the drummer on stage, and then the two guitarists were out in the middle of the crowd.
Yeah, they brought their
screaming at
Microphones
people,
opposite each other, yeah, they were good.
and everyone was just going mad, and you couldn't really make out the songs.
The
or
mic in the
words.
crowd thing seems to be a growing sort of trend in small venues.
What did you say there?
The mic in the crowd thing, where
Mic in the crowd,
someone,
yeah.
a vocalist, kind of drags it out the front and like tries to create
I
a
think
pit
it's
around
that.
them.
Yeah.
It was cool because they kind of crossed it over, so it was like that, and then they were standing this way looking at each other, and then the crowd was right in front of them. Like we sort of went right around
Some
them.
kind of choreographed. That is cool.
Yeah.
So I think we want to try and kind of not be obviously be like that, but we want to kind of make when
Well,
people
put
are
an
seeing us
emphasis.
live, we want them to feel like they're kind of
Involved.
with us rather than
Yeah.
watching us.
Yeah.
So-
'Cause it can sometimes feel when you play some venues if you're high up as well.
Yeah.
You're untouchable. You know, you can't be got into. You know, but I like the shows, especially like the Bees Mouth or the Richmond or anywhere like that. Even Sticky Mike's as well. But they've been putting up the barrier, which has been pissing me off when I'm seeing some gigs.
Yeah.
Having the barrier there, it's like
that's why I
fucking
would say
take
that
that
did.
down. You know,
And
especially because you're not on the same level. So yeah, like I said, obviously we try and encourage wherever we can. Obviously, people to be close
Yeah.
to us, so
Close.
we're all there, and it's you know in the moment, you know, and who knows
If
what
anyone
can happen.
really wants to know what we sound like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to
it's
actually
in
see the
June
sound?
at the
Yes.
Bee's Mouth. Shameless.
Yeah, we need to plug
No,
that.
there'll be links as well in the description.
Yeah.
All mine, don't worry about that. Saw that when it's actually released. Okay, there was another thing I saw about a film. I saw some stills about a film that's coming soon.
Right.
Am I allowed to ask?
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
You can. We have to kill you.
It's almost as if you were ducking under like a barbed wire fence or something. You're like,
Well, yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
I guess because some people post their teasers on Perth, so I wonder if we should ask.
no, that's alright. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's going to be a film for one of the songs. Yeah, we might do another one. We haven't really talked about doing another one because we've got 4, so we might end up doing another one.
It's just because we're literally just trying to get the actual music part. So we've got, there is a music video for one of them so far.
For Where to Blue, yeah. Because I'd had this idea for a while, going around in my head, and I tried it with a couple of. I played. There's this film that I took inspiration from called La Jetty. Give the film away.
Yeah.
A similar film built up with stills, and I tried it with a couple of our songs, but Where to Blue had the kind of rhythm to the changing in the stills,
Yeah.
whereas the other ones have a bit more of they're a bit faster generally, so the images wouldn't work as well with them being
No, it would
stills.
be taken
It'd have to
out.
be moving film, you know.
Yeah.
I think we'd
We've got
like.
one film coming out for Where to Blue, yeah.
Cool.
I think we'd like to do sort of more music videos and stuff as well. It's just kind of getting the time to do it at the right
Just
time. And the
getting
thing
the
is,
content
we
right
need
as
yeah,
well.
we need the music done before we can do it.
And
So-
getting the content right itself is
Yeah.
quite difficult. You film
Yeah.
location, all the rest of it.
I mean, that's what was kind of quite good about us as well. I mean, Ronan's very good at kind of film and graphic design and stuff like that. So a lot of the sort of art, like all of our artwork and stuff and everything, like Ronan does
I
most
think I
of
saw a
that.
print
and-
as well. Is that you? There's a print on your Facebook. It's kind of there's a lot of green.
With the album cover.
Is that the album cover?
The print.
We've got
I can't think.
The
screen
prints.
prints.
The prints.
The green though. What was the green?
The
Sorry,
it's like
that's
the
fine.
screen print.
Oh, are you thinking of the? Was that the screen itself that was green?
I think so. Yeah.
So was the screen clamped?
This was
The
Yeah,
print.
let's check that.
I
'Cause
think it's just,
I'll take a look quickly.
yeah, it's probably the screen that you're thinking is green, but then did it have? I'm trying to think now. Yeah, but a lot of that, yeah, because the album, the EP cover is a screen print I've done.
Okay.
Oh, I've done a couple of versions of it, yeah. But I think that kind of ties in with the work that we. Well, I know Stan said I do it, but obviously we all discuss it, and we all go through, where we could have that type, or we did a post for our gig in January, and we all sat around my laptop going, oh, should we do that there? Should we do that there? And then me and Stan did the recent gig poster for the Bee's Mouth.
So
We
this
just
one here.
Oh yeah, the green's the reflection of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Because that's acetate. When I'm taking
I
a
can
picture,
see
it's
it now, I see it
reflecting
from
the
the top.
screens above it. So
Okay.
yeah, that's a test print of the sphere.
I was going to say we don't want to spoil the album cover, but it's fucking radio, isn't it? So or a podcast.
Like explaining a rainbows with like.
It looks like this.
Here's the hint. It looks good. Go and look at it.
We could all be bald
would-
naked and no
Yeah,
one.
I was
That makes
thinking
sense.
you meant that.
I'm not sure it was
It's
my
'cause
screen. I was
It's
like,
acetate, so it's reflecting the image above. It's the actual screen. It's because it's silk screen, so the screen was green, but the red image. That's what I've.
yeah, that's
That's
you've
what I
actually done.
printed, yeah.
Okay.
But no, we all, I consult the guys, and me and Mike have done some printing, and we've done some bits and bobs. I kind of get on with it, but it's obviously we all kind of discuss it, and we decide where to go with it. We've got some stickers done, and we've also got a T-shirt that Sam's dad has done the design for as well. So we'll have some
Ooh.
T-shirts coming out at some point.
Seems we're here actually. I did bring a load with me, but I have them in my bag just for sticking up around town. But here's a sticker for letting us
Cheers.
be interviewed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep walking around just seeing them in places like, oh yeah.
To answer your question, yes, there is a video coming out. So when we get the music, so that'll probably coincide with the gig and the beer launch.
On the 22nd of June.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Black Spring, Breacher and Spec as well. Just to plug it as well.
There's going to be another chance as well at the end, at least. Unless you want to work in another one, I don't mind. If you can, then do it.
I'm using up precious plugging time. We've used up our plugging allowance.
There's no allowance. It's infinite. It's infinite.
So it's not like Facebook
It's that.
saying you're out of invitations.
Yeah.
I've used all the invites to the gig and said you can't
That's
invite
the thing.
anyone.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
Damn,
thing.
hey friends.
They're not really my friends, they're just
Oh.
Facebook people.
Just people from the internet. Okay, so next ones are the fun questions I mentioned before. They're a bit more spontaneous. And the first one is, you're a new addition to the crayon box. What colour are you? It can be a new colour, you can make one up. I don't care. Just
Blue.
it's a new colour.
Just another blue there.
Are we just going round? So do
Either way,
Okay.
yeah, however.
And this will be a new colour. Tomato red.
To be fair, have you seen the crayon box? They might have it.
That sounds like something you thought about before.
Yeah. Well, I never thought that the reds was my moment. The reds were never red enough for me,
This is the platform that Tomato Red's been waiting for.
But with somebody who listened to this from Heinz going, oh shit, we need to,
So they can make the Heinz crayon set.
yeah,
With reds.
Call this red. This is just a
Beans,
fucking set.
ketchup.
Mayo.
Mayo.
Yeah, that's
No,
quite.
I was adding.
Oh, I thought that would be your colour.
Not my choice.
Mayo. What colour would you be? Mayo.
Oh god. What's popping in my head is aquamarine blue, just because. Cool bird, cool colour.
Blue.
Yeah.
I like the way you look
Tough.
wistfully out the window.
I know. I'm trying to get inspiration.
From the grey sky.
I'd be the colour of dusk. Just the colour of
Just
dusk.
call it dusk.
Dusk. That's quite got a nice ring to it.
Sounds like
Is it like
Any
a green
green
colour? So like,
Yeah, so
the way
it's
you
like-
use
yeah,
it,
yeah.
like different shades come out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Interesting. Next, how old were you when you realised that Santa and the Easter Bunny never actually met in real life? It's
They
pretty
haven't.
sad news, right?
they haven't met.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Have I ruined your life?
Jesus.
Shattered my universe.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sham, can we, I'm glad we just moved on from that. It's a bit.
Cool. Okay, I'll move swiftly on from that and go to the most important one, which is, what do you think cats dream about? What do you like to think they dream about?
Mice in cages but like dancing, like in the Star Wars canteen. No, wait. Cut this shit.
Had dreams of mouse strip clubs.
Mouse strip, actually doesn't like to.
What about little tassels on them? What's good?
Doesn't want to fuck the mice, it wants to eat the mice. Mice in a sushi, can we cut this? Mice in a, you know those rotating like sushi restaurant things?
Lazy Susan.
What?
Lazy Susan. Lazy Susan.
Lazy Susan.
Oh no, the conveyor belts.
Yeah, the conveyor belts at sushi, and all the cats are sat there
Chinese,
just picking up the mice as they go around. And they're not
Cooked in
wearing.
different ways.
Yeah.
I did have a dream.
It's quite a good one, actually,
I
yeah.
had a dream on kind of like that once. It was like
The stripper.
no. It was a
Stripping mice.
it was a reverse sushi belt, so it was like a log flume, and I was on it trying to grab food on the outside, and I just couldn't grab anything. It was.
That would make it so much better if they just ramped up the speed at sushi restaurants, though. So it's literally like flying.
Rather than waiting for
You
one
get,
to
you
come
get
round.
training. You get training in martial arts while you're.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be difficult to cook, the chefs putting the what do you call them? The little bowls on there. You know, as if
Yeah.
running around there.
Drops it on.
And it's
Or like
Right.
making the sushi as it
Well, it
goes
could be
around.
magnetic, I suppose. It could have a
Yeah.
magnetic bottom that, you know. But we're too far.
This is a business idea. We
I'd
need to
say.
come back to it.
Yeah.
Merch idea.
I'm going to
Yeah.
walk down to your sushi to propose this
Yeah.
to them afterwards, you know. Propose the idea. I'd say cats dream about how they're going to piss their owners off the next day. In what way they're going to piss their owners
Just a
off.
bit of mug off the table kind of.
Yeah, just anything like that, you know. How am I going to really piss off Dave tomorrow? What can I do? You know, run away from
Fuck
home.
Dave.
I've done that already. You know, maybe I'll.
Take
You
a
know-
shit in his cornflakes.
I was going to say walk over and lick his cornflakes or lick the milk out of his cereal.
Actually, speaking of ways to annoy their owners, our cat when I was a kid, he sat on my mum's chest while she was asleep and just farted right in her face.
Amazing.
That was definitely premeditated. Definitely jumped.
See, I think that cat been plotting that for days. Hasn't it?
Be brewing it.
Yeah, it's like a recurring dream. Fuck
It's
it,
like,
let's
oh,
go
I'm
do
gonna
it
get
now.
her. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is gonna reek.
Yeah, well, when your cat will be eating the food that your man bought for the, like thinking, yeah, just you wait. Couple of
Yeah,
hours
teach you
time.
getting this one next time.
Yeah, buying this crap cat food for me. I'm not saying your mum bought crap
I
cat
don't
food.
know.
Yeah.
I think when he got old, they kind of spoiled him. So he ended up eating Shiva quite a lot. It used to be his like Christmas treat, and then they ate all the time because they were spoiling him because he was an old man, really grumpy.
Yeah.
He stopped bothering to meow at one point and kind of started coughing at us instead.
Are you more of a cat person or a dog person?
Oh, I like both. I signed up to borrow my doggy recently.
Ah, sweet.
I really want to
I've got a couple
go.
of friends that do that.
I want to take a couple of Siberian Huskies walking. They live nearby,
Yeah,
but I think I need another person to go with me.
definitely. Oh man, like we'll come walk the dogs. Right, I'm up for that.
Some of them look amazing,
Yeah.
big fluffy dogs. Well, the little ones do annoy me a bit.
Mike, say about your superpower that you have.
No, that's not super bad. I'm not going to talk about that. Well, like,
Basically, if Mike looks at a dog, it shits itself.
I'm just very unlucky when I turn to look at the dog.
Are you sure it's not you? Is it not something about you
It
that's
just happens to
Imagine
something.
that in a bio or something. My eyesight makes dogs shit themselves. That's such a good bio.
The worst superhero ever. Dog shit. I can't save you from the burning building, but I can mildly inconvenience you. I bought doggy bags.
That should have been one of the powers for the characters of Misfits.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Well, the one everyone hates, they get a really knock-off shit power.
One that can control milk or something in that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that ends up being quite deadly, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a liquid, so it's basically the same as controlling water, which, like, if you said, oh, controlling water, you'd be like, that's fucking cool. But then as soon as you make it milk, it sounds silly. But it's actually exactly the same thing, isn't it?
He like
Also.
got people's milk out of their bodies forcibly.
Ooh, yeah.
I was thinking that. Just then,
Yeah, it was in the episode, I think.
I guess there's more of an abundance of water than there is of milk. Because I was going to say it would be like, he's got the power to control concentrated orange juice with bits, but that's the only type. So,
Yeah, I think water's more terrifying, probably.
yeah,
I don't like the bits.
yeah. No, the bits are horrible.
Is it like all dogs?
No, it's just.
This is a fascinating power.
I'm really interested.
It's just I'm just unlucky sometimes when I look at a dog and it just happens. I look at dogs quite a lot and they don't shit. It's just back to the cat thing. I saw a video and it was like asleep and he was kind of like kicking his legs. And I like to think that some cats who have aspirations to like ride bikes. I just think that would be great.
Yeah.
Just little pending legs.
I would like that. That'd be great. Just watch cats and miniature bikes.
Yeah.
No, real size bikes. I don't know how that would work.
BMXs.
Get a cat on
Yeah.
each pedal, kind of pushing up and down, then one steering.
They're all standing on each other to form a person.
Yeah.
We could give it a search on YouTube afterwards. There might be.
I'm sure.
Somebody's put them on a little penny
There
file.
probably
miniature
is.
penny
I
file.
mean, there's a video called Cat Air with a song that's attached with kittens flying through the air. Capes.
One that used to make me and my brother laugh a lot was Charlie Schmidt's cat. You know, the keyboard cat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's
He just got his hands in
through that I found one where there's someone behind the camera moving their hand around and some kittens are just moving their head with the camera. It's like a whole row of kittens just going.
It was when I saw a cat had walked across the piano and played some really out of tune melody, but then this orchestra actually arranged something around it and they played live with the video on a big screen and they just played this piece of music and like the lead line was this cat's walking melody on the piano. It was brilliant.
That's an idea for a new song. We do like, I'll just get my dog to like stand on my guitar and take out the riff.
Just come up with it from there.
Find one that likes yowling and just use that. Sample it.
Yeah.
Any more comments about cat streams? In that case, we're going to move into the break while I explain the upcoming game.
Makes me feel
Right, so now back after a little break, a little listening, and we're going to play a game called Ad-lib Poetry. So I kind of explain the rules to you. I read the first line of the poem, you continue it in as creative a manner as you like.
Cool.
Okay, so first one, we're going with the soft light last night hit me right between the eyes.
And dark it was.
Oh, I thought you were carrying on.
I thought you said to a very
I thought you were going to do a bit more of a
No,
line.
I was saying, and dark it was.
Before the crestfallen newt that stood in my way.
Go Dr. Seuss if you want, I don't mind.
I was Ronan said I was trying to like think about a rhyming scheme, and now Stan's disrupted that. My brain's trying to rework it. And then there was nothing.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Sam.
And then there was nothing. That sounds quite definitive. Can we run it all the way through so I get the roll? So it was.
Yeah.
It was. And the next one.
And then there was nothing.
Sam.
Okay, so we've got
Take it away. You can really give me nothing though. Yeah.
the soft light last night hit me right between the eyes.
And dark it was.
When a crestfallen newt stood in my way.
And then there was nothing.
But sadness today. It's hard to get something positive out of, and then there was nothing.
That was quite good.
Except the noise of joy or something like that. You know? And there was nothing.
Glitter bomb.
Yeah.
But what did I say? But sadness today. I feel like I got it. But joy today.
Should we try it a bit more like first thing that comes to your head, so it doesn't even it could just be
Okay,
nonsense.
let's try the next one. So, I never want this to go unsaid, so here in this poem is for it to be said.
For I have lived 1,000 lives.
And 1,000 lives, I've still not found a good pair of shoes.
Shoes are worn and then discarded.
And then there was nothing.
Okay, want to go for one more? You want to try?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Let's start off with kind of simpler one so you can go take it wherever you like. Everybody has a name.
Mine used to be Peter.
Pop! Went Peter.
Oh no.
Shit.
I'm dying for you to say one thing.
Wait,
I feel like
can I hear it through again? So like,
Yeah, sure.
Everybody has a name.
Mine used to be Peter.
Pop goes the weasel. Peter, weasel.
Tourette's. It's just weasels everywhere.
Was that yours, sir?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I apologize. What did you just say? You said
Tourette's, weasels everywhere.
Tourette's, weasels everywhere. And that's how Peter popped.
Let's keep going round. Let's keep it going.
Okay, Peter popped. Janet crackled.
For she had never had a good crack.
Why?
It's like it's like Shakespeare. It's like and then and for. She had never had a good crack.
Crackle, crackle. Where's my spleen?
What do you mean?
That has yet to be seen.
Yet to meet someone with a snap.
Good golly, what a silly crap.
And lo, I behold the Badger King. He weeps as me and Mike sing.
Okay. Oh god. He raised the sun as his own.
Who did?
The king.
The king.
The Badger King.
The Badger King.
Come on.
Raised the son of his own. Christ.
That should be it.
He named him Xerxes.
So to do the raising, he had to take out a massive loan.
To do with the raising, he had to take out a massive loan.
He's poor, the Badger King. He's got like a mound.
Oh, it did make his wife moan. Or groan. Oh, it did make his queen groan, I'll say that.
And then there was nothing.
Okay, that's a good point to stop anyway.
Yeah. Interesting that. I feel like, yeah.
Bit of an odd game.
Yeah.
Not sure I'll try
By the way, just so everyone knows, we don't do any ad-lib poetry, I'll give
Do you do any like spoken word or anything?
Well,
beat poetry?
you have to come and find out.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's
Yeah.
just in the moment.
Get that little jazz.
Poetry.
If we do it, we don't know if it's any good. You know, it just happens if it happens.
Well, yeah, honestly.
Ronan always makes up a song pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Spot.
Yeah. Just, you know, in between songs, usually quite a lot of fun, you know, because you have your structure.
Yeah.
So you're going to play those 7 songs,
You've got to play
just
songs.
have a little bit of a jam in between and see what happens.
Yeah. And Sam has a song where he has to do a whole different tuning, so there's always going to be a moment where we put something together.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Swarm of Fucking Bees.
Oh, we haven't done
We
that
haven't
yet.
played yet, but it's like a 5-second song, which is just this really ridiculously fast riff that I need to show you actually, because I just want you to just go and like double pedal if you've got
I don't
it.
think I've heard this.
And it just goes for literally about 5 seconds, and then it stops, and then everyone just screams, "There's a swarm of fucking bees," because the riff kind of sounds like a swarm of bees humming. I thought that's what you were gonna. Anyway,
try for
that's on
not
the
the bees and use a sample.
The bees.
Yeah.
That movie is fantastic. He like in a bear costume uppercuts a random woman in the forest. And had that.
I know
Brilliant.
it's the remake of
Wicker Man,
Wicker
yeah.
Man, isn't it? With
How do you get burned?
Nicolas Cage, isn't it?
How do you get
I've
jumper with the
only
face
seen
of
that scene,
Cage
I've
on
not
it?
seen the film.
I think I've
Yeah.
kind of seen the film, but I was only watching out for those scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember the film.
The
Yeah.
first film's like really good. It's such a shame that now Nicolas Cage is like his version of that all for famous.
Yeah, he seems to do that with a couple of his films, you know. Yeah. The best.
So they go in his mouth and he starts like
There's loads of videos analysing Nicolas Cage's mad moments, and I love it when
Nicolas Cage freak out.
there's a film my mum used to watch, and it used to make me laugh because when Americans get right into their analysis and they're analysing really shit films and stuff, they sound really funny with their accents. There's a film he's in called Captain Corelli's Mandolin, and he plays an Italian man. He's putting on an Italian accent, and these videos are taking the piss out of an Italian American bloke trying to put on an Italian accent that's just shit. Like, he can't put on an Italian accent in the film. So all these videos are analysing all of his crap parts in films, you know. It's,
I'm still intending on getting that jumper with his faces on. The faces of Cage, just a jumper.
is that the one where he's in a suit and he's
No, it's just loads of his face making weird. He's just doing weird
I
faces.
saw like a really disturbing collection of images that was like animals, but with Nicolas Cage's face. So it's like cows and goats and sheep.
Should be in a gallery
it's
somewhere.
fucking terrifying. Yeah, I feel we've digressed.
Yeah, okay. So Nick Cage discussion is over. So that's the episode, to be fair. That's information about your music, fun questions, a game, a song, And yeah, so to the audience, make sure you check out Trench. The socials and all the links and stuff will be in the description below, including mine, and also one their EP release, which is a Facebook event, right?
Yeah, so there'll be a Facebook event and posters around town. So yeah, Bees Mouth, 22nd June is the EP launch, but hopefully we'll have. Conscious there was a knock on the door there. Yeah, we should have gigs before then as well. But yeah, thanks for
No worries.
Thank you.
So yeah, drop the subscriptions, likes and stuff. There goes my door again. And hopefully people will be back for the next one whenever I get around to actually recording it. And yeah, thank you for coming and speaking to me.
Thank you.
about your music.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.